Hello and welcome. This is Alchemist X. It's been a little while. I was out of town, but now I am back. So while I was gone, Kudenstein Link dropped. He is very good, very strong, but not necessary. It really depends on how stacked you already are with Thunder Pierce because there's a lot of options there. But he's very, very good at what he does. And so for this video, I'm going to showcase the summon that I did last week because, as I mentioned in the community post, there was something noteworthy, at least noteworthy for me, that happened. Then I want to talk a little bit about rerolling. I made a community post about it earlier today, but I think that's worth mentioning. And just this week in particular, there's a lot of good opportunities there. Of course, as usual, I'll go over the banners because there's a decent amount to talk about. There's nothing crazy or revolutionary, but there's definitely some good options given the 3,000 days of Tagatame celebration. So there's good free summons and some decent stuff in the shops. So overall, that's not too bad. Crystal of Reunion is also rerunning, but there's not really anything that crazy. Like if you happen to already have some of the units, it's a good opportunity to get anything you might have missed, like the gears. If you're hoping to get the units, not so great, but we'll go over that in the banner overview. And then at the very end of the video, I will showcase the summoning that I did for this week. And then we have the Ouroboros. So the unit in question is Yaris Link. I'm very happy to have her. While I don't have her Memento, I don't really care. She's kind of awesome. I love the extra turn that she can get when she crits. And then I've got Yaris all set up already. So very, very good news there. So next thing I'm going to do is showcase the 100 unit summon while I talk about rerolling. Okay, so real quick, I did forget to mention Lil's second Memento just came out. I will talk about that after I'm done talking about rerolling. How to reroll the easiest way, I made a post about it, but in the menu on the title screen, there's a delete account button. Don't have to uninstall the game like I did my first time rerolling way back when. So the people I would recommend it to, if you are new and you don't feel like your account has a lot going on, if you don't have any dragons, you don't have any link units, and your overall limited count is either very low or you just don't like the units you have, definitely consider rerolling. There's a lot of good options this week, whether it's Kuden Link or Ouroboros or any of the units that you can get via the pickup banner, because you get 500 of the coins for free. The pickup banner will also give you 100 per step. Oh, I just got Minario. No idea if I'll ever raise him, but I do have both of his mementos. And then anybody who wants to make an alt account, definitely a good time to do it because that'll just give you a big boost. And then finally, if you used to play global, you missed the game, you didn't get into JP because you're not really sure, if you want to make that jump, this is definitely a very, very good week to do it. And especially because I would recommend doing it before Golden Week, because last Golden Week I got to pick a free Genesis protagonist. Hopefully they give something as good or better this Golden Week. So if you've already got a good account going by the time, because that's going to be later on in spring, if you already got a good account for that, that can help quite a bit. So on to Lil's Memento. It's a good secondary Memento for her. You're going to have more damage, definitely a good chunk more agility, more evasion, jewel cost down, buff duration +1 that's not tied to max limit break, and then a status boost for all the dragons just appearing on map for 5 turns. And then the VCR is, I can't tell if it adds another count of the dragon effect or if it just boosts the potency of the dragon effect. I couldn't get that from the database, but then it also takes care of her agility. So overall, if Lil is a unit that you're heavily invested in, it could be a very, very good pickup. For everybody else, definitely, I wouldn't worry about it too much if you don't use Lil, unless you've got a dragon you absolutely love and you want to use it as a secondary for them, like if they don't have one, like in the case of Nidhogg. But anyway, let's move on to the banners. And here we are at the banner. So one thing to keep in mind is that upcoming units, Sumeragi and Mikaboshi, are going to be coming out. So if you're looking for a fire DPS or a light support unit, the little Oni twins are going to fill those roles. So that's definitely something to think about. Luckily, even if you're not looking to spend a lot of gems, there's some good options this week. And then there's also a couple of disappointing things, but we'll go over it bit by bit. So for Lil, already talked about the Memento. The banner itself is very standard 9-step with a selector. It's basically, it's completely Lil centric. So if you're not interested in getting her up, then it's an easy skip. If you are interested, then it's a pretty solid banner. There's going to be a whole bunch of paid banners until we get to the unit pickup. So standard unit pickup, just like with the anniversary, the rate's been moved to 5%. It is helpful. It is a tangible benefit, but just remember, nothing is guaranteed. But the coins are very helpful. Even if you only get 100 per step instead of 200 as many coin banners have, when you are working on link units in particular, any source of shards you can get for them is going to be helpful. It's also nice we get 500 for free. So that just, if you get to a point where you're like within 100 to get a set of, maybe like another set of 25 and you're really close to a break point, then doing a discounted pull for this can be very worthwhile. The Memento one, on the other hand, nothing has really changed with that. Is as usual, it's an all or nothing type of banner, just because the coins by themselves aren't really useful unless they're in either 1,000 or 2,000 increments. 1,000 for the selector, that's everything except for the Dios Link Memento. And then if you want to get Dios Link, it's a good way to do it, because you could just do this banner twice and then get yourself 2,000 coins. Hopefully you get something other than that along the way, but even if you didn't, it wouldn't be this much different than doing his banner and getting nothing except for the pity that way. So worst case scenario is you kind of break even with that. Then we have a couple of voucher banners. I think that they're outclassed by stuff that's available mostly in the way of coin banners or going for rerun units like Ouroboros. So, Crystal Reunion. Overall, pretty disappointed with the banners they have for this. The Memento one is fine, just pretty standard. Just pick the one that you want on step 5, as is per usual for collab type stuff. What's most disappointing though is this banner, just because it's a standard coin banner, doesn't have a rate up. In general, it's 1% for each unit. No way of really controlling which unit you get. I would have been down to get Masakato for maybe like a 5-step, something like that. But because you could throw tons and tons of gems and not get any of them, and even if you do get a pickup, it might not be the one that you want. And then if you get none of them and you throw a ton of steps into it, those coins aren't going to do you any good. So overall, I think that it's bad. It's not worth the trouble. Like, I do like some of these units, especially Masakato for being a chrono support with personal damage, but not with this kind of banner. Like, it's definitely better to focus on more scarce, more powerful, try to get more out of your gems in general. Then we get to Ouroboros. It is sad that she's not rerunning with Tagatame, but she is still very good, very strong universal support. If you've been waiting for a rerun, then definitely can be worth chasing nonetheless. I don't want to go for it yet, but if I get enough that I can completely guarantee her and she reruns again, I might. If nothing else more appealing has shown up along the way. Another option is to just do it in increments of 5 until you get 150. So like maybe do 1 lap now, do another lap next time she reruns. I don't necessarily recommend that, just because once you do that, you've committed to using your gems to get that unit. And something else might come along that's more appealing, but you've already committed and you still don't have the unit, so it's kind of the worst of both worlds. But you never know. The plus side to that approach is that if you get an early pull, then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Then her Memento, of course, is rerunning. And otherwise, it's Ouroboros / a little centric stuff. And then finally, Kuden is still available, but Tagatame is not available anymore, so definitely not really good deal anymore. But if you got really close and you just didn't have enough gems, you might be able to get enough gems this week and then close that gap. In that case, it'd be worth the trouble, especially because you can apply a discount ticket to it. But yeah, overall, that is pretty much it. There's also some gears and stuff, but nothing else to really write home about. So with that, let's go ahead and see what I got from my summoning. Okay, so this is just going to be a single discount summon. I just want 100 coins. With the 500 I had already, I got to a point where I was like within 100 coins of getting some more of the units I care about. Mostly with Seda is what I'm thinking about, because I need that last stretch of limits for her. Because as soon as I have 125 shards of her, I can be done with Seda and then swap her out for someone else in the port. And then any extra can go to Yaris. So that is overall my thinking with that. I think that's pretty solid for a discount ticket. Like, I always like it better when they come with 200 per step, but with the rate up, I guess that's not too bad. So we saw that this was a red circle with a single red on it. So here's where the heart really pumps. And we have an Ouroboros. So who is it gonna be? Up, it is Bullcut Narwhal Boy. I don't have a ton of shards of him or his Memento or anything, but I'm still probably gonna raise him just because he is a support unit, and I'm sure I can find some stuff for him to do with his buffs and debuffs. And then I skipped because I thought that was done. Then we got Yomi. That was the real draw here. Good lord. Yeah, I've been ready for her. Fully maxed out Yomi. I already have Yomi Link's Memento, so we are very, very good. So that is gonna close me out for now. So if you are summoning this week, I wish you good luck, and I will see you all next time.